quickly answer related questions from topics ranging from what's going on in this software code to what brand of shirt is this person wearing. These features will evolve further in the future, MWIII says. While today GPT-4o can look at a picture of a menu in a different language and translate it, in the future, the model could allow ChatGPT to, for instance, watch a live sports game and explain the rules to you.
It's also it's a chat boyfriend too.
Yeah.
Babe, you see what's happening out there on the pitch? And by the way, it's called a pitch. I know it looks like a field, babe.
Yeah. This would be great for all the lonely ladies out there who miss being mansplained too.
Yeah. Yeah. The chatbot also makes sure that you take up all the space on the bench.
ChatGPT, can you be a bit more condescending?
Yes. That's the thing.
Talk to me like I'm a child.
Yeah.
Explain like I'm 5 or a woman.
That way it's good for everyone, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all this plus a very casual and borderline flirtatious personality. And you got really the chatbot from the movie Her. It's almost like they were inspired by the movie Her.
They were.
Yeah, it's a movie that OpenAI's Sam Altman apparently really, really likes. At least, it's not a particularly dystopian piece of source material, unlike some other blatantly sci-fi influenced recent technologies like the metaverse. But the message of Her, it isn't that AI chatbots are good for humanity. In fact, you'd be surprised to know that it is quite the opposite.
Yeah.
Wired writer Brian Barrett tackled this in an article this week titled, "I am once again asking our tech overlords to watch the whole movie." This is just like The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
I paused the movie halfway through. What a person to look up to.
Just like half of the Scorsese filmography is just like, wow, doing crimes is awesome.
Yeah. I'm not going to get to the whole consequences for the actions part.
The Act 3, that's always a real downer.
But here's from that Wired article. As my colleague Kate Nibbs noted recently, the AI assistant Samantha in Her is not malicious. It doesn't take the easy, hackneyed road of turning against humanity. It doesn't even cut people off from the rest of society. AI partners are so normalized in Jones's imagined future that no one bats an eye when Samantha's user, Theodore, takes it as his +1 on a double date.
It's easy enough to see why Her holds so much appeal to AI companies. At a glance, it holds all of the benefits of conversational artificial intelligence and none of the drawbacks. Particularly, as Nibbs also mentions, none of the job displacement or economic disruption that AGI portends. But the fact that the inhabitants of the world of Her have no problem with AI companionship doesn't mean it's an unfettered good. The movie's AI relationships are easy, sure, but also false. Samantha exists to fit Theodore's needs. It's a dynamic that allows him to take without giving, to get constant reassurance that he is understood without doing the work to understand someone else. It's not until Samantha leaves, in Her, AIs around the world disappear to some higher plane of existence, an outcome that would surely vex OpenAI's investors, that Theodore confronts his own messy human relationships. He writes a letter to his ex-wife. He watches a sunrise with his neighbor. These are simple acts of being human, deferred because of an enabling AI. Roll credits.
Yeah, but some people would look at that and say, I prefer the dystopia where I am just content with my daily routine.
I think it's, I liked the part where he had sex with her by having her hire a sex worker and using that sex worker as her body.
Yes.
That was cool and exciting.
I never made it past that part.
Yeah.
It just kept pausing and rewinding right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the VHS tape burned out right there. It's strange.
Yeah.
So not exactly stoked about how much OpenAI is leaning into all of that, especially after what we've already seen of how susceptible lonely people are to AI companionship. We went through this multiple episodes last year of people getting real weird with it.
Before any of this shit, there was that Google guy who got like convinced that he had to rescue.
That was a premonition.
And that guy, I check in on him every few months. I think last time I saw he was high on some sort of drug and talking about the latest orgy that he went to.
Yes, he still was inaccurate about what he thought was happening, but truthful in the sense that, people are literally falling in love with robots.
Yeah, that's what it's designed to do, essentially.
Say what you will about HAL 9000, but at least he didn't try to act like anything more than a cold, unfeeling machine. Although you gotta admit, an edit of 2001 where HAL speaks like a sex hotline operator or a comic relief character in a Marvel movie did be entertaining.
Yeah, that's the thing is like when it wasn't trying to sound lusty and sexy, it sounded like Grok.
Yeah.
It was just like, just cut the fucking bullshit, ChatGPT. We're not friends.
Yeah.
Why do you gotta, did I just do that? Shut up.
But let's move over to Google now. Google I/O, Google's annual developer-focused event. And this year, AI was obviously the focus.
For everything.
Google is in its Gemini era. It is Gemini maxing, folks. And thankfully, most of the stuff they announced actually does seem somewhat practical if it works as advertised.
Which I doubt.
And I have already experienced the updates to search, and I can tell you firsthand that in the brief queries that I sent over to it, it failed those tests.
Everything they showed, I'm like, hey, I could see that possibly being useful. But I have very little faith in it actually working as smoothly as they are presenting.
Also, there's a great supercut of all the times they said AI throughout the event, and it is mind-numbing.
Yeah, take a shot every time they say AI.
No, don't. You will literally die.
So like OpenAI, Google's going multimodal with a lot of their stuff. For example, being able to do a Google search via video. This is so extra. So in their example, they used a video of a malfunctioning turntable, and Google was able to see the model of turntable, detect what's wrong with it, and pull up an AI-generated diagnosis along with some links. Okay,
yeah,
that's definitely something that I would not trust this to actually work. As
also, we've been through this not with the same exact kind of aim that they're going for here, but we've been through this with this kind of what is it called when you're like seeing the real world through the
metaverse?
Something like that, yeah. So
augmented reality.
Yes. So there was that thing where with Google and Yelp where you could like look around and see buildings and information. It's like, that's a cool gimmick.
Yeah.
But things like this very rarely catch on. And this seems like one of those things that will absolutely not catch on because you're trying to always take the path of least resistance.
Also, it's
very easy to start typing things in.
The question she asked, like so it was the turntable, it was like the most common fucking turntable problem. Basically, like the balance was off. So the arm wasn't dropping properly. And it's like, would it have been that much harder to find that answer without this? I don't think so.
No. Well, it is getting harder now because the search is seemingly intentionally
first 20 results are like completely irrelevant.
You're going to want to use the AI because the rest of our search engine is fucking useless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, similarly, you can ask Google Photos really specific questions about your photo library, like what's my license plate number? And it'll find that in your photos somehow. Or show me all the pictures of my kid learning to swim. It's like, I guess that's cool, but like as a Google Photos user, this fucking thing for years has claimed to be able to tell the difference between my dogs and has failed horribly at it. And the result is that anytime it's like, hey, we got a slideshow of your dog Lola. It's my dog Lola, who's very much alive, interspersed with photos of my dead dog Zizu, which really just like fucking ruins the mood of the entire thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm not a big fan
that's why I have my doubts.
It does seem a bit creepy in general.
Yeah, I mean, like
there's no way you're escaping this in general anyway, but it is unsettling to use.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, like a little bit of this, sure. You got like 10,000 photos and like you want to type in the word beach. Like, it's cool that it can tell what a beach is.
Yeah.
But like,
but at what cost?
Get it, but like also, yeah, just getting more detailed. Like, I don't trust that it's gonna be able to do that properly. All I'm saying.
They should do a thing where every month it's like you have to select which 15 photos you want to keep, and we're gonna delete the rest of them.
They should do that.
Yeah, because it's just think about how much data trash is out there. Yeah. Just videos of concerts, videos of fireworks.
Yeah, you're never going to watch that.
You know how many fucking terabytes of fireworks footage is out there that no one's watching?
You're never watching that. It's not going to be the same.
Anyway, unless you were at that San Diego one where they put them all up.
Yeah, I'm glad someone photographed that.
Of course.
Another example, if you missed a Google Meet meeting or I just dozed off because video meetings are boring as shit, Gemini can summarize what was discussed, hopefully accurately.
You would hope.
But great for productivity. I'm sure people at offices love that people can increasingly just like be like, okay, I don't have to actually be there. I'm going to put a cardboard stand-up of my face in the window.
It's going to be great it's going to be great for petty office battles. Let me just pull up the transcript.
Yeah.
Because remember when you said this?
Yeah, I mean, if anything, hopefully this cuts down on unnecessary meetings.
I think that the workflow problem is going to just be the same because you're going to have to double check everything it does.
Yeah.
Which is essentially just single checking like the first time. That you would do the first time.
That is like my biggest issue
You always have to check its
with
work.
all of this is in saving you certain steps, it is also adding steps because you can never 100% trust that what it's giving you is accurate.
Yeah.
It's the same issue I have with like self-driving cars. It's like, unless I can 100% rely on it, I'm gonna be more scared riding in a self-driving car than I would be driving myself.
Well.
Anyway, Google's also got their own sci-fi inspired multimodal assistant in the works called Project Astra, which seems pretty similar to GPT-4o, but minus all the personality. So, okay, now you're speaking my language, Google. But again, they're doing this demo and it's like, that's great. Also, I love these demos because it's like 90% of it, once you get past the wow factor, is just like, okay, so is this just like for morons who like don't know what things are?
Yeah.
Like I can see it being useful for people who are literally blind. And it's funny because GPT, like that is one of the things they've been doing. They did not feature it in their big keynote though.
Yeah. I don't know. It's again, it seems like companies that just have to innovate for innovation's sake to please shareholders, and we're just kind of getting new features that look very flashy that no one's going to use because there's also a track record of that. Like I said, like you can go back and look at all the keynotes from the past decade and all the features that they're pushing, and how many of those do you actually use?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anyone like under the age of 50 who uses like Alexa or Siri on a like regular basis.
Yeah.
All the boomers I know are just constantly yelling at them. But like
in the Walmart yelling at their phone. Anyways, they also revealed a competitor to OpenAI's Sora AI video generator called Veo. It's got all the same issues as Sora. Key among them that as much as they say anyone can make a movie now, it's just objectively not true.
Yeah.
They even had a little segment where they met up with Donald Glover to show him the tech and get some sound bites of him being impressed. But despite Glover saying how useful it would be, they very conspicuously did not show off anything he actually did with it, aside from footage clips generated from random prompts. And similarly, in the section of generative music, they got Wyclef Jean and Mark Riboulet to test it out. And both of them talked about how useful it would be as a new way to find samples and come up with ideas, but only very briefly showed them actually doing any of that.
Yeah, the Donald Glover one broke my heart a little bit. He is, like many artists, he's like he's not problematic, except that he's just kind of dumb. He's a genius. Yeah. Atlanta's my favorite show ever, and I also really like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. But he's like an Andrew Yang guy, and like just the stuff he's like saying about AI. I'm like, you don't fucking believe that. Also, you're like really talented. What? You don't fucking need this shit. Shut up.
Same with the Mark Riboulet thing. It's like they had to have just wheeled out just so much money.
Yeah. I mean, and Wyclef and Mark Riboulet, like the stuff they said about sampling, I'm like, okay.
Well, Wyclef's been like tech guru guy for 2 decades.
But the stuff about sampling, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. As opposed to like being like anyone could be a musician now because you just type in a prompt and there's your song. I'm like, that fucking sucks. But if you are a musician, especially making sample-based music, I can see how this would be useful to avoid just like crate digging through like hundreds of records to find the perfect sound. But like, we'll see. And it is interesting that they did these collabs with professionals, but didn't show off any work that they actually created with it.
That's like the magic of specifically hip-hop. Like, the magic is having someone who knows what those are, who has that fucking brain, who can immediately be like, I know the sound we're looking for. It's this. I know a 70s funk disco artist, and there's this one like breakbeat on this album that we're gonna loop, and it's gonna sound amazing.
Yeah, it is a form of artistry that you can't replace.
It's musical collage.
I watched a video the other day on like the making of the first Justice album, Cross, and like the sampling techniques they used, and it's like fucking insane. Like it is truly an art.
One of the famous viral videos of this over the past since YouTube existed is the how Prodigy made the Smack My Bitch Up.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's crazy to hear what the source audio is in the final product. It's proof that it is art. So that is a talent, having that Rolodex in your mind as a producer. So there you go. Now, the biggest announcements that will actually affect your everyday internet user were, of course, Google Search, which for the past few years has been turning to shit. And it will continue to turn to shit because they're apparently not doing anything to fix their actual search results. They are just adding an AI component on top called AI Overviews that works like a chatbot. where you give a question, you get an answer, and you hope that it has hallucinated the correct thing.
Yeah.
And in my experience, it is not. And it even shows you the source that it's pulling from. Mine had multiple sources of where it was getting the information from, but those combined sources created an answer that was inaccurate.
Yeah. I saw one today. Someone asked it, or yesterday, someone asked it a pretty basic question about like inflation, like how much would $100 in like 1930 be worth today? And the answer was completely fucking wrong.
Yes. Well,
And then it was a two-part answer, and the two parts of the answer contradicted each other.
with my results, I thought what was fascinating about it was that it does the whole blogger recipe tactic, or like the I have to fill out this paper for a report tactic.
Yeah.
Where like the answer it gave me, I would say 2/3 of the answer block was, so you've decided to jump back into the
Shut up.
It's like, nah, just tell me what the fuck.
Stop trying to be my friend. I don't want to be friends with any robots.
Yeah.
You are a tool.
It gave me like a 2-paragraph introduction to what I was looking for.
Yeah. I hate that shit. I'd be a lot less hostile to this AI shit if
It just treated me
it
like
was
an
just
adult.
Hello, here is your answer.
Yes.
I'm sorry for my existence.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I don't forgive you, but at least you know your place.
Yes. Stay there.
You are a droid.
Yes.
You are less than human. You are my property.
As an empath, I know that you're trying to manipulate me. Now, meanwhile, if you actually want to use the search function the way that you always have, you will now have the option of just the search results.
Okay.
And you do that by clicking the web tab. Is that confusing? Hopefully not.
Yeah, it's right next to the all
It's
tab.
next to the all tab, of course. And that actually also removes all of the other automatically generated stuff that they've been adding to search in the past few years.
The one that I like is the Wikipedia box. Very helpful. So if you click the web tab, you don't even get that.
Yeah. But,
They've really cluttered that shit up over the past few years.
Because they're trying to keep busy.
And I'm not going to say it's 100% useless. I'd say it's about 50% useless, which is in some ways more annoying than if there was none of it.
Yeah.
Because it was already powered by AI, not Gemini, but like, you'd ask a question and there'd be like examples of other questions. You click a little arrow and see it. And that's another thing where like you get shit that contradicts each other or isn't relevant. And like you read it and you're like, okay, well, that doesn't make any sense. So I still have to click through to the source to find out if it's even true. And you click on the source and you're like, oh, this sucks. Why did Google rank this as a high quality result?
You're never going to get a better search result than going on YouTube and looking for the problem and getting like a Bandicam screen capture from someone halfway across the planet.
100%.
Explaining very quickly how to fix whatever you're doing.
I've found this to be especially true with anything related to gardening, plants, vegetables. Google, fucking useless. Gardening websites, like the results you get, any gardening related question are worse than recipe websites.
Yeah.
Half that shit is fucking AI generated now. It's like you gotta read 20 paragraphs to even get to the point. It's all spam. But like, on YouTube, like, I've searched for the most like obscure fucking thing, and some dude in fucking like India just answers everything in like a minute and 30 seconds.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah.
Anyways, this all seems like, I guess it could be useful in certain situations, but that of course assumes that it is reliable. And at this point, that is not something we can assume.
You're going to have to double check your work all the time. And you're doing all the work by having to check all the work.
Yeah. But one feature that Google showed off that I hope is reliable, and it seems particularly great if it actually works, is real-time AI-generated scam warnings that pop up during phone calls.
Okay.
Where the AI listens to what the caller is saying and then notifies you that this sure sounds a lot like a scam.
Okay.
This is something that is pretty urgently needed at this point. Ironically, the problem is getting worse very quickly thanks to AI. But yeah, we'll reserve our praise for this feature for when it's actually available to use, and we hear about people using it. We hear about this saving someone's grandma from giving their life savings away. I will give Google all the credit for that because, yeah, this is a huge fucking problem.
I got a quick fix. It should cost an outrageous amount of money to call someone. If you're a business, it should cost you like $100 to call someone.
It should. I am glad, like, it's, better late than never. I'm seeing like public service, like bus stop signs and stuff being like warning people
scams,
about these scam tactics. Like, this shit's been going on for like years at this point.
Everyone should have a 900 number. and it should cost an exorbitant amount of money for anyone to get in contact with you.
Yeah. You should have to pay me to call me.
Oh, of course, your family and friends are different. I'm saying businesses to people.
Yeah. You should have to pay me to call me, and you know what? Crypto solves this somehow.
Somehow. Yeah. I get a couple Dogecoin in my pocket every time you have to call.
But okay, that's it for OpenAI and Google. I mean, there's obviously more to it, but I'm not going to get into it. You know, the videos are out there. You can watch them. Yeah. There is more AI news to talk about, though. And in this next story, similarly to the OpenAI stuff, it really gets to the heart of why, on a human level, we are so uncomfortable with the direction that a lot of this AI stuff is going. Here's Whitney Wolfe Herd, the founder of the dating app Bumble, at a recent tech summit.
Our focus with AI is to help create more healthy and equitable relationships. And that also starts with yourself. How can we actually teach you how to date? How can we help you show up in a better way?
So give me an example.
Okay, so for example, you could in the near future be talking to your AI dating concierge, and you could share your insecurities. I just came out of a breakup. I have commitment issues. And it could help you train yourself into a better way of thinking about yourself. And then it could give you productive tips for communicating with other people. If you want to get really out there, there is a world where your dating concierge could go and date for you with other dating concierge. No, truly. And then you don't have to talk to 600 people. It will just scan all of San Francisco for you and say, these are the 3 people you really ought to meet.
Oh man, so that first part is not great, especially from a data security perspective. But online dating doesn't come naturally to a lot of people, so that kind of AI-generated advice could be helpful, I guess. The second part, though, about online dating being just a bunch of chatbots trained on their owners' most intimate thoughts, all talking to each other in cyberspace to replace the act of actually exchanging messages and going on first dates, is so fucking weird and bleak.
I hate it. And it sounds like everybody hated it.
Yeah.
Which is good. These tech people, they're in their own fucking bubble, and like occasionally they'll let something slip out where like normal people are like, what? Ew.
Is this what you think? Yeah, replacing basic human interactions with AI is certainly great for freeing up time, I guess. But the result is a less human existence.
Hey, karma's going to come back with a bigger gun.
I mean, I get that Bumble was created with women in mind, and the online dating experience for women involves sorting through an absolute onslaught of suitors. But this is some Brave New World shit. I mean, it's more Black Mirror shit, honestly, and quite literally season 4, episode 4, Hang the DJ. And that's kind of a huge spoiler for the episode's twist, but hey, it's been 7 years.
Yeah,
sorry.
That's on you.
And that's assuming this idea would even work as intended and not just be a new high-tech way for people to misrepresent themselves on dating apps, which is probably the more likely outcome. Either way, it sucks.
Yeah.
Also, it's going to make people less socially... You're going to have these chatbots talking, and the fact that you haven't been doing it is going to make you more awkward in person.
Yeah, that's like, I mean...
You can tell the difference between someone who fucking sits inside and like doesn't have human interactions ever versus someone who is constantly going out and talking.
That is the thing too, is like people forget, like the big draw of online dating early on was like, oh, you're like kind of awkward in person. This is like a way for you to...
It takes the pressure off of like going up to someone at a bar or something.
But like we've reached a point now, like 20 years later, where it's just like, even like sending a "Hey, what's up" message is like, oh, my social anxiety.
See, you just need to like this is like we need a bully. This is like a very specific bully scenario where it's fine, I think, because you know, it used to be if you had an online relationship in like Warcraft or EverQuest or something, fucking nerd. Yeah. Now you got people out here dating each other in cyberspace. Yeah. They don't even know what's going on. But what?
Yeah. A Warcraft relationship is like fucking genuine.
Yeah.
Compared to this.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That is real human connection.
They're looking at their phone like, well, shit. I got my avatar is on date 4 with this girl over here. Is on date 2 over here. So for some reason, my credit card's getting charged. I don't know what that's for. They're buying virtual mint juleps in the app. I don't know. It's
fucking weird, and it's like, I don't know. Like I've been a very, very long time since I did online dating. I thought the OkCupid model. Does anyone even, is that even around anymore?
I have no idea.
But their whole thing was like based on personality tests, and that was like actually pretty good for at least like narrowing the field of like you can see like when you answered things similarly to other people. I think Bumble is kind of similar to that. It's like there's already so many ways
No, it's great.
to like make it easier
This
for you.
seems so off-putting that I feel like people will like be that against it that they just go out in real life.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, Meetup.com is gonna have a huge comeback.
on the bright side, it sounds like this is just some shit that she let slip.
Yeah.
Like it's probably in development at some stage, but it's not like she announced a fucking product. And hopefully the reaction to it.
Well, there was that thing last year.
makes
There was
her
that big.
reevaluate.
There was like a whole bunch of coverage last year about there was a separate app that would do all that for you.
Yeah,
You would literally copy and paste like the messages into it, and it would like respond for you. So I guess they're just making that like an official integration. Or something.
God.
Good luck out there, folks.
We are so fucked. And speaking of which, speaking of how fucked we are, god damn it, get ready to get mad.
No, I
Let's
don't
move
want
on
to.
now from AI to electric cars. Now, you've probably noticed by now, but climate change is a serious threat to our planet. And emitting less CO2 into the atmosphere is something that should be a priority for all of society, from the industries on down to individual consumers. And one of the simplest transitions that an individual can make to emit less CO2 into the atmosphere is driving an electric car, ideally one that is powered by an electricity grid that uses renewable energy sources. Unfortunately, though, electric cars, they're still pretty expensive. And on top of that, the biggest electric car company in the country is run by the biggest douchebag in the world. So EV adoption is still moving along pretty slowly. Too slowly, actually. Like literally too slowly. We need to hurry the fuck up.
Yeah, and it's not helping that he is deciding to fiddle with the supercharger network.
Yeah. But what if there was a car company that managed to develop EVs that were significantly more affordable than anything currently available? And that company just happened to be based in China.
Banned.
That's right, you banned that company from selling its cars in the United States. Get the hell out! I'm gonna roll coal! Get the fuck out!
All right, yeah, so ban isn't the correct word, though it's functionally true. Much like TikTok hasn't been banned, Chinese electric vehicles haven't been banned. They've just had 100% tariffs imposed on them, meaning they cost twice as much as the manufacturer actually wants to sell them for. Here's the Washington Post. President Biden on Tuesday quadrupled tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles to 100% and imposed new levies on computer chips, solar cells, and lithium-ion batteries in a bid to prevent a flood of low-cost Chinese products from swamping his hopes of reviving domestic manufacturing. Capping a 3-year review, the president slapped tariffs on a modest $18 billion in Chinese products to protect American workers and businesses, especially in the auto industry, the White House said.
Administration officials said the actions were a needed response to years of unfair trade practices by China, including forced technology transfer, intellectual property violations, and hacking of American businesses that have given it a dominant role in global manufacturing. Oh, is that how they got the dominant role in global manufacturing? Interesting. It's not competition, it's cheating, the president said during a Rose Garden signing ceremony featuring representatives of labor unions and companies from the affected industries. Tuesday's actions effectively made Chinese clean energy products much more expensive for American customers. But without tariff protection, domestic manufacturers would be unable to compete, leaving the United States dependent upon China for the bulk of what's needed to transition to a low-carbon economy, administration officials said. To some analysts, the president's tariff policy conflicts with his environmental goals. If the Chinese government wants to subsidize American consumption of EVs, the best response is to welcome that foreign aid, said Scott Lincecum, a trade specialist with the Cato Institute. If climate change is an existential crisis, as the Biden administration says, that should be the #1 priority. I hate that I'm agreeing with the fucking Cato Institute, but here we are.
Yeah. I mean, so much like the TikTok ban, this seems to just be the United States reacting very childishly to China being better than the U.S. at something. Yes, Chinese EVs are so good and so cheap that letting them in would be bad for U.S. automakers. But whose fucking fault is that?
Not China's.
I mean, sorry for sounding like Ron Paul during the 2008 financial crisis, but in many ways, U.S. car companies deserve to fucking fail. Or at the very least, get the shit kicked out of them for a bit so that they wake the fuck up. They can do this.
Yeah.
They have the ability to do this. And they have the ability to do it cheap.
Yeah.
They choose not to. The Maverick, very sought after truck.
We have shot ourselves in the foot and we're blaming China for it. It's embarrassing.
Why would China do this? So they've had all the time in the world to get ahead of this, and they haven't. And here comes the U.S. government to the rescue, saving the auto industry at the expense of actually doing anything to fight climate change. So we don't want to hear from many people who use China as an excuse for why our CO2 emissions aren't that big of a deal. It's a bullshit argument to begin with, considering China's CO2 emissions are the byproduct of moving our manufacturing over there. But now that argument is officially dead, now that the U.S. is actively preventing its citizens from being able to purchase affordable electric vehicles. And not building more trains. It would solve a lot of problems if we had a lot more trains.
Half a century of offshoring and, like, yeah, obvious. I'm glad that Joe Biden seems to be the first president in a very long time to be like, oh, maybe that was bad. We should probably turn that around. But, like, buddy, that is you're not undoing a half century of offshoring. Tariffs, I guess that's a way. If anyone's cheating, it's you. What the fuck? Anyway, this really is the most predictable and inevitable chickens coming home to roost moment, as Rob Rousseau phrased it on Twitter. 1980, we will deindustrialize our society and export our manufacturing industry to China in exchange for cheap products and vast shareholder profits. 40 years later. Fuck. I mean, 2023 had the warmest temperatures the Earth has seen in over 2,000 years. But instead of treating that with the urgency that it warrants, we are punishing China for being the country that has acted accordingly in the face of that news. It is really the pinnacle of American capitalism. We love the free market when we win. When we don't, well, we're going full protectionist.
Yeah.
Fuck it. And as further illustration of what a crock of shit this all is, here is Joe Biden 4 years ago. Trump doesn't get the basics. He thinks his tariffs are being paid by China. Any freshman econ student could tell you that the American people are paying his tariffs. The cashiers at Target see what's going on. They know more about economics than Trump.
So that's cool.
Also, where the fuck is this tariff money going? Maybe they've answered that, but, like, if it's going anywhere aside,
straight to Israel.
If it's, I mean,
you don't understand. We need more bombs for Israel.
Yeah.
That's why we've approved $1 billion worth of more bombs, folks. You asked for it. The American people let their voices be heard. They were on those college campuses. They said, we want more weapons to Israel.
I would be
and less oversight.
I would be less critical of this if they made it very clear, like, we're doing these tariffs, but any tariff money the United States gets off of these products
infrastructure
is going directly into projects specifically to tackle climate.
Yeah, here.
To make up for the fact that we are cock-blocking you from actually being able to drive more responsibly.
I took that high-speed rail from D.C. to New York, and I just saw the better future we could all have.
Yeah.
It was amazing. A better world is possible.
When I'm on my deathbed and they finish the West Coast high-speed rail project,
just put me on it one time.
One time. Oh, it's so fast! Oh my gosh!
Whee! They said it'd be done in my lifetime, and they weren't lying.
I mean, they are.
They're making progress.
I don't want to give them too much credit, but the latest conservative thing is like, oh, they've only laid like 50 feet of track, and it's like just not fucking true. It is complete disinformation. It's still taking fucking forever.
It's working though. They're doing it.
Yeah,
they just started the Vegas to not really to LA to Rancho Cucamonga, but it's something.
Yeah, it's all shit that should have happened 50 years ago.
Yes.
It's good that it's happening now.
I got a taste of that northeastern corridor, and I wanted more of it. I was like, if I lived over here on this side of the country, boy, I'd be zooming around to Boston, Philly, DC all the time. It was so easy.
I mean, the only real taste you can get of that here is like San Diego or Santa Barbara on the surf line.
It's the slowest fucking train that exists.
It's slow as shit, but it's still much better than driving.
It is very pretty too.
And you can sit there and have some food, read a book, look at the ocean.
Or
it's a lovely experience.
Or in my case, hit a car in the middle of the...
Kill someone.
Yeah, that was sad.
So anyway, yeah, great news. That's very cool. Love it. And it's especially cool that the company that will benefit the most from these tariffs is run by an absolute fucking dipshit whose magnum opus is the ugliest and most poorly built car of the 21st century. Yup, it's Cybertruck time.
The panels are falling off, people.
They are. I saw that one.
Oh my God.
And it's all just fucking plastic underneath. Like, God, it's so funny how much more often you see Cybertrucks falling apart.
People
now
are writing. People are tagging them now.
Yeah.
People are tagging them, baby.
Yeah. But let's start with an update about a guy that we talked about last week who we've been following for a little while. Lamar MK he's just some dude who owns a Cybertruck, but his constant detailed documentation of his owner's experience on social media has been a saga that we've watched closely because he is so clearly demonstrating the cognitive dissonance of a proud Cybertruck owner, where he oscillates between praise for the Cybertruck and desperate cries for help, sometimes just hours apart. Last we checked, he was demanding a replacement for his Cybertruck, the best vehicle he's ever owned, by the way, due to it spending most of its ownership period in the shop for repairs. So, how's that going for him?
Well, it appears that since we last checked, Lamar is at a breaking point.
He's had enough. No more Mr. Nice Lamar.
There you go. My Cybertruck is broke again in less than 24 hours. 3 crying emojis. I need a replacement Cybertruck. This is the 4th time in less than 2 months that it's broke and stuck in service. And then a few days later, Tesla is refusing to give me a replacement Cybertruck after mine has been broken 4 times and stuck in service. If you are considering buying a Tesla, you need to seriously reconsider.
Oh, shit.
They are trying to screw me out of a truck. Nobody higher up wants to help me. They do not care about their loyal customers at all. Angry face emojis.
Damn.
It's gotten serious. He's putting the angry face emojis now.
He's telling people not to buy a Tesla. Wow. Honestly, I kind of feel bad for the guy. He put all of his faith in Elon, but his faith could only remain steadfast for so long. Every man has a breaking point. Every Cybertruck has thousands of breaking points, and here we are.
He'll find them all.
It's a cautionary tale, but for every Lamar, there's dozens of people willing to pay $700 for a cyber hammer, literally a sledgehammer that I guess kind of resembles a Cybertruck. $700. They put a limited edition run of 800 of these babies up for sale last week, and within days they all completely sold out.
It's an NFT that you can hold.
Yeah. Now there's dozens of listings on eBay going for as high as $4,000. Well, asking for as high as $4,000.
Not me showing up to the function in my Trump sneakers and my Cybertruck mallet.
Get out of my house. But in other Cybertruck news, the state of Maine apparently only has 2 Cybertruck owners. So it's, when you see one in Maine, whoa, that's rare.
Yeah.
And the Portland Press-Herald decided to profile one of those owners this week to see what his experience has been like. And we're just going to read the highlights of this article.
Oh, yeah. A Tesla Cybertruck is Portland's newest celebrity. Tennis players stop mid-swing to get a glimpse of it. Children want their pictures taken with it. It's a trending topic online in the Portland subreddit. On the road, the electric vehicle is the frequent recipient of middle fingers, thumbs downs, and slammed-on brakes. People gawk, roll their eyes, and yell. It's gotten spat on and been scratched. Carter loves the thing, but still questions whether the Hot Wheels are worth all the attention. If he had to go back and click place order again, he's not sure he would. Quote, I didn't know it was going to turn into this. I'm sometimes like, what did I do? He said. But sometimes it's positive too. I take the time to talk to people because some people are genuinely excited to see it. Carter once found a large, fresh glob of spit on the car when it was parked in downtown Portland. As he pulled up to a stop sign Wednesday, someone started yelling at him. A driver in front of him once slammed on the brakes. What's his most frequent reaction? The middle finger, he said. In passing, at red lights, people walking by. Yeah, it's the Cybertruck salute. Yeah. I've done it multiple times. It made my dad really uncomfortable when he was in the car with me. And I saw one, I was like, oh, here comes the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Stop it!
That's what I feel like your dad would love that.
No, because in his Republican boomer brain, because Elon made it, it's good now.
But does your dad like electric cars? Like, is he in the market for an electric car?
He is lukewarm on the idea.
Oh,
he likes the idea that people, because he's a car guy.
Yeah.
So he's like, they're cool, they're fun to drive.
Okay.
But he's like, I don't want them shoved down my throat. It's like, okay, no one's making you buy one right now. It's like, we're working towards a electric future, but like.
Okay, I mean, that is still progress though.
Yeah.
Because I bet if you asked your dad like 5 years ago, the same question, might not be as interested.
I think he really came around because of the electric tools.
Oh, yeah.
He loves the fact that he can like take a Ryobi battery and put it in 50 different tools.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Electric power, baby.
Electric power. But moving on to Elon's other catastrophic mistake, Twitter. One of his key changes to the platform has been removing all the previous safeguards put in place that kept Twitter from descending into a hate-filled cesspool, which he has justified on free speech grounds. But we've seen numerous examples at this point of Elon's very selective definition of free speech. And here's the latest one via TechCrunch. If you write the words cis or cisgender on X, you might be served this full screen message. This post contains language that may be considered a slur by X and could be used in a harmful manner in violation of our rules, the warning says. You can continue to publish the post or delete it. Cisgender is an adjective used to refer to people whose gender identity corresponds with their sex assigned at birth. By contrast, the word transgender refers to people whose gender identity is not consistent with their sex assigned at birth.
These terms are commonly used in both social and medical contexts. The Canadian government uses these classifications, transgender, cisgender, and non-binary, in its census. The American Psychological Association also includes these terms in its glossary. Since last June, X owner Elon Musk has claimed that the words cis and cisgender are considered slurs on the platform. But only more recently have these words triggered full-screen pop-ups warning users that their post might be a violation of platform rules. According to TechCrunch's testing, this pop-up only seems to appear when using the mobile app. While words like cis and cisgender are flagged, some slurs targeting Black, transgender, and Jewish people can be posted without repercussions. This is, of course, very stupid.
Cool.
It is a battle that he is choosing to wage against a pretty innocuous term. Also, on the topic of very annoying pop-ups, if you try to block an ad on Twitter now, it's like, yeah, we'll hide this from you, but wouldn't it be nice if you gave us some money? Every single time you block an ad, it says, you're seeing this because you're not paying us. Please pay us. And you can't click like no, you have to click maybe later so that it constantly pops up. There's no option to stop it from doing that.
I mean, I haven't updated the app in my phone for like 7 months. It barely even works anymore. There's days where I open it and it just doesn't load.
It's probably, in some cases, it might work better than the actual
I honestly kind of appreciate it because it's just like, okay, I was about to spend like 10 minutes fucking mindlessly scrolling, but I literally can't. So I guess I'll go do something else. Maybe I'll touch some grass.
That's actually classist, Elliot. Not everyone is lucky enough to have grass around them, even though that's more, it's just more of a general concept.
I saw that hot take.
Every time
That's
I see
what Twitter's all about.
Yes. Every time I see a take like that, I immediately think of warm water ports.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is someone just causing some fucking ruckus. This is someone, this is not a real person.
The picture of the FBI guy at the computer.
Hey, actually touching grass is classist.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's a phrase that people use to say, go outside and be with other people. Not actually go, yes, it would be nice. It does feel good to go out and touch actual grass if that is what's around you.
Yeah.
But it's more of a...
If you're in the desert, touch
the sand.
Just
go talk to someone.
Yeah. Just be present.
Unbelievable. Anyways, it's our internet, and we're going to go down with this ship.
Yeah.
If you want to go down on the ship with us, click the like button.
Ahoy.
Ahoy, matey. Click the like button, become a part of the crew, swab the poop deck, leave a comment, reply to a comment. No sponsor, you're the sponsor. So if you feel like financially supporting this channel, you can click the join button and become a paid member. You get little metal hands down in the comments. You get it highlighted every once in a while. It's just fun to know that you're contributing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you don't have to. You can always just click the like button and engage in the content.
You can save that money for a Chinese EV car.
There you go. You're going to have to pay twice as much, though.
Yeah.
So now the videos are up here. We got a recent video that covers those RFK brainworms, as well as a new orca attack.
They're back.
And many such other things. And then some other videos that are very old.
Oh, yeah, 9 days ago.
Just like the video.
Bye.
Okay. You need to, if you are a part of this community, I'm telling you right now, like this community that does stuff like this is your wake-up call. Please understand that you have depersonalized, okay? You are not a human being anymore. You have unironically lost yourself in this cult. We are watching a cult unfold right in front of our eyes. You're making a documentary, a mini documentary, because a streamer said your personal best friend in your mind, your streamer, actually has bad vibes. Oh my God. Like, what are they debating on over here? This is like insane. I need help. I have an idea for a thumbnail versus slime 5th grader. Are you gonna act like you didn't blatantly lie, huh? What is this? Lamau, someone actually found the original video of her logo, claimed I thought I was too clouded or whatever to talk to these guys and ignore them, and the vibes were completely off. He just lied about the entire thing. Dude, you really owned him in the marketplace of ideas for saying that your vibes are f***ed up. What is this? Who the f thinks this is a good argument? Bro, you're only proving that your vibes are permanently f***ed. You missed the cheese ball drama? No, what the f is the cheese ball drama? Dude, How does an entire community unironically not recognize how much of a loser they come across as for defending another streamer, saying that like, no, actually I was very cool with this other streamer, my vibes were immaculate. This level of parasocialism needs to be studied in a lab, dude. Like, this is some insane It's got 1,000 likes too. Just gonna act like you didn't blatantly lie, huh? Actually, as a matter of fact, this 8-second clip shows with conclusive evidence that my personal favorite streamer was actually really cool. It seems like you were lying about my streamer. What the you only are proving the point, dumb. You are literally fighting the wrong battle here. You unironically, even if Destiny was the coolest person on the planet, which he's not, definitely, his community makes him look even more unhinged. This is crazy. We are actually going to show you with conclusive evidence that our streamer was cool. You know what a vibe check is? Do you understand what a vibe check is? He came in the room mid-game. I tried inviting him to join in. He didn't want to. I then offered $100. He missed. Then sat on the couch and left after the stream ended. How the f are you going to tell me how the first impression went from 8 seconds, Lamau? They're crazy. They're debating him on this. They're like, no, dude, you don't understand. My streamer's actually sick. I love you, Ludwig, but he ate the cheese ball. Don't lie on my dog like that. He ate that cheese ball. What is happening, dude? They literally think that like this cheese ball 8-second clip is like personally, what the I don't think people understand how unhinged they come across as. I don't think that, like, I think people from the outside looking at this would go insane. Like, they're like, what? You're telling me that one content creator said another content creator had bad vibes, and then that other content creator's community went back, found a VOD, found an 8-second clip, and now they're using that to yell at the other content creator about his vibe check initially, claiming that his vibe check was false and that he should relitigate everything about this relationship that he has crafted. Bro, how are you doing this? You literally are proving the community is just unhinged. There were 4 LSF threads about this before the Frogan threads. They have like 900 plus comments. One of these guys is going to be on the news. No, he said he denied a cheese ball. If we see him then picking up a cheese ball and throwing it in his mouth, we can logically conclude that Ludwig is saying Destiny denied a cheese ball from someone. If the game was people throwing cheese balls in other people's mouths, then that was the game and he chose to be separate from the game but still participate in the task of the game. There's no way you don't understand this. What is happening? Bro crafted this immaculate story about how turning down a cheese ball means you are just bad vibes, and it didn't even turn out to be true. Why do these guys think that there's a magic silver bullet that will convince everyone that the parasocial relationship you have with your content creator that comes across as incredibly unhinged is not going to make him look even more unhinged?
The cheese balls. I had a fucking circle of like 10 people around me, and we were trying to...
Bro, I wouldn't defend LeBron this hard. I would not defend LeBron this fucking hard. That's crazy. What is happening?
Throw the cheese ball into every person's mouth in a row, and if we failed, we would restart. Just a dumb game that you play with your friends. But I remember he comes in, and I go, cheese ball? And he goes, no.
If he hits it first try, I'll give him $100.
They made a video. They made a video being like, I owned him. He lied about the cheese ball. This is cheese ball gate. Yeah, I don't think I would defend myself this hard. They tracked down a 5-year video to do Oppo research on why their streamer is cool vibes. Very normal. That's awesome. Y'all have such a weird gang stalk vision of the world, like MAGA Republicans in the deep state.
Destiny.
Yeah, it's about you and your cringe, unhinged, cockroach slobbering friend group being obsessed with Destiny and doing whatever you can to make Hassan stop crying so you can guzzle more of his cum. What the This is a 6-minute compilation? Bro, they're making video essays. They're making, oh my God, I didn't even know about this. This is so awesome. Okay. You need to, if you are a part of this community, I'm telling you right now, like this community that does stuff like this is your wake-up call. Please understand that you have depersonalized, okay? You are not a human being anymore. You have unironically lost yourself in this cult. We are watching a cult unfold right in front of our eyes. You're making a documentary, a mini documentary, because a streamer said your personal best friend in your mind, your streamer, actually has bad vibes. Oh my God.
Dude, it's you're a millionaire.
And ever since then, I was like, hey, just like every other human on this earth, I hope he does well. I hope he does good things. but the vibes aren't there for me.
It's not that. Oh, what time? He said I would die for you. That's okay, right? I'm in a video game.
Cheese balls.
What is the last part? Wait, what? This guy was weird. Hold up. Let me make a detailed breakdown of how A, he's not weird, and B, your recollection was incorrect. He's both very nice with it and based. Hassan, you don't understand that vibes are purely based on logic? Bro, this is illogical. To make the assertion that human interaction does not contain multitudes is ironically illogical. Like human interaction is off of everything. Like is off of all of the sense. Okay. You need to, if you are a part of this community, I'm telling you right now, like this community that does stuff like this is your wake up call. Please understand that you have depersonalized, okay? You are not a human being anymore. You have unironically lost yourself in this cult. We are watching a cult unfold right in front of our eyes. You're making a documentary, a mini documentary, because a streamer said your personal best friend in your mind, your streamer, actually has bad vibes. Oh my God. Like, what are they debating on over here? This is like insane. I need help. I have an idea for a thumbnail versus slime 5th grader. Are you gonna act like you didn't blatantly lie, huh? What is this? Lamau, someone actually found the original video of her Ludwig claimed I thought I was too clouded or whatever to talk to these guys and ignore them, and the vibes were completely off. He just lied about the entire thing. Dude, you really owned him in the marketplace of ideas for saying that your vibes are fucked up. What is this? Who the thinks this is a good argument? Bro, you're only proving that your vibes are permanently You missed the cheese ball drama? No, what the fuck is the cheese ball drama? Dude, how does an entire community unironically not recognize how much of a loser they come across as for defending another streamer, saying that like, no, actually I was very cool with this other streamer. My vibes were immaculate. This level of parasocialism needs to be studied in a lab, dude. Like this is some insane shit. It's got 1,000 likes too. Just gonna act like you didn't blatantly lie, huh? Actually, as a matter of fact, this 8-second clip shows with conclusive evidence that my personal favorite streamer was actually really cool. It seems like you were lying about my streamer. What the f? You only are proving the point, dumb. You are literally fighting the wrong battle here. You unironically, even if Destiny was the coolest person on the planet, which he's not, definitely, his community makes him look even more unhinged. This is crazy. We are actually going to show you with conclusive evidence that our streamer was cool. You know what a vibe check is? Do you understand what a vibe check is? He came in the room mid-game. I tried inviting him to join in. He didn't want to. I then offered $100. He missed. Then sat on the couch and left after the stream ended. How the fuck are you going to tell me how the first impression went from 8 seconds, Lamau? They're crazy. They're debating him on this. They're like, no, dude, you don't understand. My streamer's actually sick. I love you, Ludwig, but he ate the cheese ball. Don't lie on my dog like that. He ate that cheese ball. What is happening to shows with are fucked up? What is this? Who the thinks this is a good argument? Bro, you're only proving that your vibes are permanently You missed the cheese ball drama? No, what the fuck is the cheese ball drama? Dude, how does an entire community unironically not recognize how much of a loser they come across as for defending another streamer, saying that like, no, actually I was very cool with this other streamer. My vibes were immaculate. This level of parasocialism needs to be studied in a lab, dude. Like this is some insane shit. It's got 1,000 likes too. Just gonna act like you didn't blatantly lie, huh? Actually, as a matter of fact, this 8-second clip shows with conclusive evidence that my personal favorite streamer was actually really cool. It seems like you were lying about my streamer. What the f? You only are proving the point, dumb. You are literally fighting the wrong battle here. You unironically, even if Destiny was the coolest person on the planet, which he's not, definitely, his community makes him look even more unhinged. This is crazy. We are actually going to show you with conclusive evidence that our streamer was cool. You know what a vibe check is? Do you understand what a vibe check is? He came in the room mid-game. I tried inviting him to join in. He didn't want to. I then offered $100. He missed. Then sat on the couch and left after the stream ended. How the fuck are you going to tell me how the first impression went from 8 seconds, Lamau? They're crazy. They're debating him on this. They're like, no, dude, you don't understand. My streamer's actually sick. I love you, Ludwig, but he ate the cheese ball. Don't lie on my dog like that. He ate that cheese ball. What is happening, dude? They literally think that like this cheese ball 8-second clip is like personally, what the I don't think people understand how unhinged they come across as. I don't think that Like, I think people from the outside looking at this would go insane. Like, they're like, what? You're telling me that one content creator said another content creator had bad vibes. And then that other content creators community went back, found a VOD, found an 8-second clip, and now they're using that to yell at the other content creator about his vibe check initially, claiming that his vibe check was false and that he should relitigate everything about this relationship that he has crafted. Bro, how are you doing this? You literally are proving the community is just unhinged. There were 4 LSF threads about this before the Frogan threads. They have like 900 plus comments. One of these guys is going to be on the news. No, he said he denied a cheese ball. If we see him then picking up a cheese ball and throwing it in his mouth, we can logically conclude that Ludwig is saying Destiny denied a cheese ball from someone. If the game was people throwing cheese balls in other people's mouths, then that was the game and he chose to be separate from the game but still participate in the task of the game. There's no way you don't understand this. What is happening? Bro crafted this immaculate story about how turning down a cheese ball means you are just bad vibes, and it didn't even turn out to be true. Why do these guys think that there's a magic silver bullet that will convince everyone that the parasocial relationship you have with your content creator that comes across as incredibly unhinged is not going to make him look even more unhinged?
Cheese balls. I had a fucking circle of like 10 people around me, and we were trying to...
Bro, I wouldn't defend LeBron this hard. I would not defend LeBron this fucking hard. That's crazy. What is happening?
Throw the cheese ball into every person's mouth in a row, and if we failed, we would restart. Just a dumb game that you play with your friends. But I remember he comes in, and I go, cheese ball? And he goes, no.
If he hits it first try, I'll give him $100.
They made a video. They made a video being like, I owned him. He lied about the cheese ball. This is cheese ball gate. Yeah, I don't think I would defend myself this hard. They tracked down a 5-year video to do Oppo research and why their streamer is cool vibes. Very normal. That's awesome. Y'all have such a weird gang stalk vision of the world, like MAGA Republicans in the deep state.
Destiny.
Yeah, it's about you and your cringe, unhinged, cockroach slobbering friend group being obsessed with Destiny and doing whatever you can to make Hassan stop crying so you can guzzle more of his cum. What the fuck? This is a 6-minute compilation? Bro, they're making video essays. They're making, oh my God, I didn't even know about this. This is so awesome. Okay. You need to, if you are a part of this community, I'm telling you right now, like this community that does stuff like this is your wake up call. Please understand that you have depersonalized, okay? You are not a human being anymore. You have unironically lost yourself in this cult. We are watching a cult unfold right in front of our eyes. You're making a documentary, a mini documentary, because a streamer said your personal best friend in your mind, your streamer, actually has bad vibes. Oh my God.
Okay. Dude, it's you're a millionaire.
And ever since then, I was like, hey, just like every other human on this earth, I hope he does well. I hope he does good things. But the vibes aren't there for me.
What time he said I would die for you? That's okay, right? I'm in a video game.
Cheese balls.
What is the last part? Wait, what? This guy was weird. Hold up. Let me make a detailed breakdown of how A, he's not weird, and B, your recollection was incorrect. He's both very nice with it and based. Hassan, you don't understand that vibes are purely based on logic? Bro, this is illogical. To make the assertion that human interaction does not contain multitudes is ironically illogical. Like human interaction is off of everything, like is off of all of the senses, not just simply one. You will never be able to literally comprehend how two people interacted with one another by simply reviewing the tape like it's the Zapruder film, all the while where you are trying to debate the issue. And the issue is whether your favorite streamer is actually has good vibes or not. What the I don't know how to describe how insanely overreactive this community is on any marginal slight that they take offense on against their favorite content creator. This is psychotic, bro.
And then, out of nowhere, then out of the blue, my name gets brought up. Destiny. Not in a big way.
I always wondered how many views you'd get if you were ugly. But then I watched Destiny stream.
That's an easy copy paste to Reddit roast. Whatever.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Just my name getting brought up.
Guys.
But, you know.
Guys, what is going on?
They fucking put music in the background. They put the school shooting music in the background, bro. Bro, what is going on right now? Bro, this is too much. They put the school shooting song in the background too, being like, Ludwig, don't come to school tomorrow. Actually, do come to school tomorrow. You don't understand. My streamers' vibes are immaculate. I will now proceed to DDoSing you and also doxing you and also make this docu-series. The amount of resentment that you have to hold in your heart for a whole other person fighting their battles, holy shit, dude. You are so god lost in the sauce, brother. This is hilarious. I'm sorry. I'm gonna enjoy myself a little bit, okay?
I could pull the ripcord, chat. I could pull it. Guys, if you want to support this event, this costs a shit ton of money, but it can all be paid back. Chat, guys, I'm gonna pull it. Chat, guys,
They just have like compilation of me and Ludwig standing next to one another. Is that what it is?
Chat, I'm gonna pull it. Chat, I'm gonna pull the ripcord, chat.
Am I gonna be reimbursed for the firearms stream?
Yeah, we can reimburse you. When it comes time.
By the way, again, another incredible moment where they just totally didn't pick up on context clues there. Me making a joke was picked up as like another point of major contention. Reimburse gate. I forgot, dude. So many of these controversies are so silly. Looking at it in the rear view mirror, it's awesome.
To take a side, you gotta reimburse every streamer however much it costs them.
Okay, don't even say.
Ludwig doesn't take stances.
Did you see there's an LSF post already? People are very mad at me.
About what? Ludwig will be like, yeah, guys, I'm on every side possible. Why are they mad at you?
Don't worry about it. We'll talk about it.
Are they actually?
So mad.
He took down a story.
See what this
The hardest job on earth.
Yeah, what I'm saying, see what this asshole did. That's my friend, okay? This is how friends talk to one another sometimes. I also call him MAGA male. I don't actually legitimately believe that he is a supporter of Donald Trump. Oh my God, this is so creepy. It's like hyper analyzing every minutia between a relationship between two adult individuals. This is insane, dude. I don't think people understand, like, Destiny's fan base doesn't understand, like, why won't Destiny get unbanned on Twitch? Bro, this is like the level of intensity and toxicity and in many instances harassment, because this is like funny and we can laugh this off, but they have this exact same level of smoke for every content creator that is in Destiny's crosshairs. How do you not understand that that literally is not only a liability because he constantly says unhinged, but also beyond that, it makes the it makes the space less safe for like content creators in general. They don't want to be around him. They don't want the smoke from his community. His community literally is so dedicated to hatred that they will regularly create Twitch accounts just so they can restream me and then turn around and like write in the chat and do like raids as best as they can. I'm a 25K Andy. Okay, sometimes a 30K Andy. If I'm a 300-person Twitch streamer, their community is going to literally overwhelm mine. I have 5-6 years of these kinds of attempts of like hate rating and shit like that. But for the most part, and even then they can still get one off on me and like clip something, piss me off, clip something, try to make it go viral. But like when you do this kind of stuff to like other content creators, I don't think you understand. You look insane. Like, they don't like that. Most people don't like that. Just want to mention that D constantly cries about his Twitch ban and not being a part of the circles of creators that you're a part of in these communities. His fans are emulating that sentiment, but D is defo the source of this shit. Man also makes more kill the streamer jokes than anybody else. Weird how their community go from support it when he says other people should be arrested for it. Yeah, this is crazy. His offline chat is saying that you're so mad right now, like don't understand the basic things. Yeah, I'm so mad. Why would I be mad? This is hilarious, dude. I think it's legitimately cultish behavior not to recognize that like the rest of the world outside of your inner circle and the orbiters that are constantly around your favorite content creator for a crumb of the clout and a crumb of your attention, outside of that neat little circle on the internet, this kind of behavior is truly unhinged. I'll give you a great example. You will never see Markiplier do this. You will never see PewDiePie do this. You won't see their fan bases doing this by getting the go-ahead from their streamer. Like, normal content creators that are in this space don't engage in this kind of behavior. And the only thing you have in this circumstance is, right, well, Hassan's community is not a cult, am I right? Like, bro, you just came in here to say that to me. You don't see me going, hey guys, go to Destiny's streams or whatever. I say the exact opposite. For years and years, because I didn't want this to be happening in reverse, I literally banned mentions of him. And I still to this day tell you not to do this There's a difference. I think you should spend your time much better than this, okay? Sitting around festering in your own resentment for somebody else, like fighting their battles. That's kind of crazy. You know what's funny? Lately, I was wondering if I was being indoctrinated by watching you for so long, so I decided to watch D for a bit to try to see if it was an echo chamber. First, he got with a couple seemingly smart argumentations, and I was like, damn, why does he sound like it's making sense? But then he just blurted out some racist judgments about a whole oppressed group, and I remembered his real intention. Yeah, I literally joke about people that know all the latest and greatest in his community. Like when people come in here and they're like giving me a detailed chronicle of whatever the fuck he's done lately, I'm like, why the fuck do you know that?
Hassan said that he was going to stop his ass if he actually left up a video where he made like a 2-second clip where he joked about something that Hassan had said about the streamer privilege.
Yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you in the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will.
Now, as you can imagine, this clip went mega viral.
And Hassan was so unbelievably sensitive.
But I wanted to talk about this as a streamer myself for almost 6 years now on how hard it really is. I'm kidding. I would look.
Oh, God.
More sensitive than the head of his cock after Ludwig spent 2 hours polishing it with his tongue, okay?
That's so fucking dumb. Like, ay.
I thought there was something like more insidious in here. I got it.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. He showed the context, though. It doesn't fucking matter that he showed the context. It's just like, what's funny?
Wait, how long is he about to go mauled over this comment?
You should call.
Dude, what the I now understand why his community gets like such anger and resentment and animosity out about particular people. He is directing them. That is obsessive behavior, bro. He's directing them to feel some type of way. He just pulls up long ass like clips from my stream and analyzes my behavior. Why bring you into his beef with Lud? Yeah, I know. That's wow. I don't think these guys understand that they're being duped by another content creator that is making inferences about a relationship between two content creators that he does not talk to at all. That he is incredibly so far removed from understanding understanding normal human interaction. Out of context framing, like even if that framing is in context, it still doesn't matter because, and I don't know how long he watched the me reacting to Ludwig, but like this is something that I get mad at a lot of people that do this in my community, that do this in the friends of mine and their communities, where sometimes they'll come in and be like, you really wronged Will Neff, okay? And it's like, bro, Will and I have been best friends for 15 years. Are you insane? You think because you watch him nightly that you have a better understanding of what he's going through than someone who has known him for 15 years? Like, the reason why I'm bringing up this example is because sometimes as people who watch content creators, we develop this oftentimes unhealthy relationship with them. So we make inferences about what's going on in their minds. This can be reflected in the commentary that I see all the time where people go, Hassan, you seem really tired, maybe you should go to sleep. And sometimes they're right. Sometimes I do need to go to sleep. But in many instances, when you think you know what is happening between two adults that you only see on camera, you have no idea what's happening in the background. And normally this kind of behavior would be seemingly completely unhinged. But of course, if your favorite streamer, Destiny, is giving you permission to feel this way and is basically motivating you to feel this way by making inferences about two people he does not know at all, then yeah, of course his community is going to go off the hinges like this. This is crazy. You know what's really funny about it is like, it is the exact same. This is almost identical to the time when I was like reacting to someone in my Discord being like, oh my God, I'm going to kill myself in a video game. Right. And out of context, people thought I was suicidal because Destiny and his orbiters on Twitter were like, lol, he's going to kill himself. He's so sad. Meanwhile, in the real world, I didn't even know that was going on. Because I wasn't on Twitter. I don't have Twitter on my phone. I was out in Australia living my best life. And I start getting messages from IRL friends being like, bro, is everything okay? And it blew my mind. Like, it showed me once again that for a lot of people, they don't even care what the truth is. They just care about what their understanding of events are, right? And these people are doing that right now over and over again. It's very parasocial. Divorcelli has a weird parasocial relationship that is, hate related for the most part with a content creator like myself, and maybe even a content creator Twitter like Ludwig and Cutie Cinderella. If he wasn't a streamer, this behavior would be seen as unhinged cyber stalking. And as a matter of fact, because he is a streamer, this makes it so much worse because his community is engaging in it as well as him. That's crazy. It's also hilarious because I want everyone to remember this entire saga happened because Slime had an offhanded remark, a one-off joke about Destiny being a Wikipedia reader, a Wikipedia researcher. That's it. Slime said, oh, Destiny researchers on Wikipedia. That's what sparked this entire saga. It's so crazy. I really, and I mean this with all sincerity, I really hope that people in his fan base see this as a moment to be like, maybe we've gone a little too far. Maybe it's not warranted to behave this way. Maybe we are a little out of pocket. I think he's been spiraling since the Fincarelli conversation. He got hit on like the one aspect that he cares about the most, which is like he's the best debater. And when he met someone who was equally as stubborn and equally as spiteful as he is, but with an endless amount more knowledge on the issues that he chose to debate on, and looked like a massive fool to even people like Joe Rogan, it's just like he's been on an endless spiral since then. It's like the divorce and then this together has, I don't know. I'm doing the same thing that I just criticized him on. I don't know what his background is. Maybe he's having the time of his life. I take it back. You know what? I take it back. I'm sure he's doing all right. His fan base, on the other hand, doesn't seem to be doing all right at all.
Also on and apologize. When is this on that? What did I do? I feel like everything I said was fine.
He said call Hassan, he's crying unironically.
That's the deal.
He read a comment, which is a very common thing that people say on Twitch chat. He knows that. There's no way he is like not picked up on that, I think.
Fucking pull him out of the thumbnail. But I don't think the content of what I said is something I wouldn't say in public or to a person.
So sensitive that Ludwig deleted that whole video.
That was, yeah, in part inspired by Hassan. I talked to him about doing that.
Like even this conversation, oh my God, he's like picking up quotes from my Discord. Even this conversation itself, he has no idea. He has no idea what the relationship that I have with Ludwig. He is just simply making inferences, and his fan base is going off of like bits and pieces that they've chosen.
That's a change on the fly, baby. That was a mobile mail that I uploaded yesterday. You might not have seen it though, because I took the video down.
Lied about why he deleted the video.
The reason I took it down is because we had a great sponsor on it.
One sec. Again, bro, you have no idea why people make decisions. You are making an inference on why he made this decision and choosing not to believe the person. That's insane. How do you convince someone and their fan bases that they might be wrong when they're making assertions about you? What is this?
Exactly. Why are so many streamers? Oh God. Let's see here. Why are so many streamers afraid of
291 upvotes?
Asman and Hassan are both connected to Night Media, and in turn connected to BlackRock, which connects to Bilderberg Group, which in turn lets us know that they're both Illuminati members. It's actually, that is completely true. Yep, you're right. Absolutely. And yeah.
Apart from a handful of them, nobody stands up to Hassan ever. Asmongold makes a perfectly fine point about pro-Palestine protesters. Bro, that is so unhinged, dude. What are you doing? Yeah, Asmongold is joking. Chatters, come on. Oh my God, bro. This is every Reddit post from like a Destiny stan comes across like a cry for help, dude. They've been trying to make Asmongold hate you for years now. Yeah, he made it on our idiocracy. Hassan in his Discord on anti-white racism. Bro, they go to every subreddit. They never stop. They literally go to every subreddit. All right, let's finish out this on his video.
The great sponsor wasn't getting great views. Always
and then reposted a new video.
I figured, maybe a Minecrafter will do something dumb, and I can just talk about that and throw a sponsor in, and everybody will be happy.
Where he blamed my entire community for harassment because of one random DM he got from a guy on Twitter who had nothing to do with me.
I was just being used in a proxy war for people who don't like us on Wednesday. Now, this is a DM from a guy that said no balls. And then I scrolled up in our DMs, and I found out that this dude was my viewer 5 years ago. And has since moved on, I think, clearly to, like, watching Destiny, and on Destiny's behalf wants to, like, make us songs, like, a lot worse. And then...
What a dick suck fucking comment.
fuck? Ludwig is like such a decently cool person, other than the fact that he's such a spineless fuck and carries so much water. I don't know if it's like a cloud obsession thing or if he legitimately just enjoys getting his ass fucking rimmed by Hassan every day. But like, it's a
dude, is he okay? That is so unwell. That is insane, dude. That is repellent. It's like normie repellent. Destiny is genuinely most parasocial viewer. No, literally, like this is nuts. He just keeps making inferences that Ludwig and I are having gay sex too, which is, I don't know what that's about. We're just having gay sex. Like, I mean, it's
very frustrating because Ludwig knows better. He knows how irresponsible and stupid it is to take one fucking DM and pretend that
yeah, I like that this entire video, by the way, literally shows that exact same thing that Ludwig was implying, which is that Destiny causes his fan base to behave in like incredibly erratic and incredibly irresponsible ways. Like this right here, this entire video in and of itself is basically the same thing that people have been trying to explain, that Destiny and his community are a blight on the streaming space. Obviously, there are worse communities out there on Kick, but outside of those guys, like he's still in like the top 10 worst Kick streamers category. And I genuinely mean it. He has the capacity to show himself as like a normal guy who believes in some causes, and he will like go out and debate people and make himself look better as a consequence of like who he's debating, because like some of the dudes he's debating are just like genuine monsters, right? But beyond that, it's like so unhinged, the intensity that they have towards other content creators and the genuine like slant of justice that they feel they have in pursuing these causes. Like, you're doing this because a streamer's friend on his podcast said you read Wikipedia. That's crazy. Like, I don't know how else to describe this to people. Making this footage, making this like little mini docu-series, like this little compilation, is further evidence that you are a blight on streaming. 100%.
Or exemplifies an entire fan's fan base or an entire streamer's fan base. Like, what a stupid comment to make. You know better than this. You know that you would never stand for anybody doing this, that if I were to go up to you or if anybody else were to make a comment
like the cowardly Ludwig Auger, Mogumel, not only remade his old video about Hassan to soften the blow, but took a death threat response he got from his own fan and invented a story based off an LSF thread that actually it's a Destiny fan and his fault. Like, what is going on, dude? They've been doing this. This is unhinged, man. This is completely unhinged. Completely. Normal people make albums of their family photos or something. These guys are playing dolls of you in their heads. Yeah. It's pretty funny to think that like this is going to inevitably cause all of Destiny's enemies to be lolcowed, and maybe in their own community, in the own like little echo chamber they've cultivated, they can think that. But to the rest of the world, to the onlookers, they look at this and go, bro, you are the lolcow. You're obsessed. This is like mental illness in full display. You have to change your behavior. You have to stop doing this. You have to tell your fans that doing this is literally not all right for their own sake. If you genuinely care about the mental health of your fan base, this level of toxicity, unironically, is so unsustainable. You're literally giving people brain rot directly. You made a 7-minute video because Ludwig's co-host on The Yard said that you do Wikipedia research. And then this spiraled completely out of control because you then turned around and started like on Ludwig, on Ludwig's girlfriend, making jokes about how you're going to jerk off to Ludwig's girlfriend's AI porn. Like, just unhinged. I don't think they will ever if you don't see this as like, if you don't see this as like pure insanity, if you don't see this as pure insanity, then I don't know if you'll ever see it. Like right now, at this moment, this is their wake-up call, I hope.
Oh, wow, Ludwig's fans think this because one guy DM me and he follows Ludwig on Twitter, which, by the way, I don't think this guy followed me or Hassan, or maybe not even Ludwig on Twitter, right? You know how stupid it is to make this type of generalization, but he does it anyway to defend his friend Hassan? How weak. What a spineless thing to do. Or it was just literally Hassan wrote the script for him to do here, and he read this alongside the advertiser script.
Which is bad.
Yeah, I wrote a script for him, dude. Yeah. This is clearly because he thinks Slime got his comment from you. I rarely ever talk to Slime. Like, the last time I talked to Slime was when he was on my stream when we were doing a You Laugh, You Lose to raise money, which I invited him to the other You Laugh, You Lose, and he was like, nah, man, I'm going through it right now. That was the literal last time I talked to Slime. D laughed at Cutie crying on stream about the AI porn and says she's faking it for attention. Absolute monster. Is D the lol count now? His viewers feed him this info and he reacts for them every time. I mean, in order for him to be a lol cow, people have to be just as unhinged as his community. and like care about belittling him and humiliating him. He was the lol cow for a brief moment when he reached a much larger stage when he went on the Lex Fridman debate, and everyone was like, what the fuck is this guy? But I mean, this is a culmination of 5 years of like active cyber stalking, and they're opening up new fronts of war against like anyone and everyone that they have perceived to have slighted their favorite content creator. So other people are basically getting like a fraction of what I've been experiencing for the past 5 to 6 years, which I have never really addressed.
This is like Destiny just reading about Israel Palestine on Wikipedia and then hopping in.
If Ludwig did explain what he thinks about Israel and Palestine, I bet he probably wouldn't really know what he was talking about.
And then hopping in.
Yeah. And people come in and say, hey, yo, lad, you need to take one side. It's now we need to make a decision.
Yeah, except he read the Wikipedia page wrong. He mixed up 2 sections.
And Ludwig's do like this.
Slime replies a bunch. Eventually, Destiny quote retweets him and says, did you really need a whole ass tweet thread? Then Slime said, sorry, should have just posted this. Which is crazy. Typical Slime.
Because he's not spending all the time doing it. He's not invested into this.
Destiny goes, lol, are you okay? Ludwig's second generic white friend. You can always just not talk on stuff you're clueless about. I'm flattered you spend this much time on Reddit posting about me. Slime replies, it's just the funniest thing about you. Ludwig seems cool, but he sure associates himself with some cringe people.
I'm on everybody's side.
Because he tries as hard as possible to appeal to the widest set of people possible.
He's on every side.
Which is a lot of words to say just, I have immaculate vibes.
And when it's time to choose, he vanishes.
Me and Slime are different people.
Every time.
Well, he's an adult man.
It's just kind of how it goes.
I'm friends with that adult man.
Yeah, and he does.
But we are separate people. People don't really give a shit about the context. I don't what or about any people involved.
Oh my God, this is actually so fucking pathetic. Are you serious?
That's right, dude. Yeah, wag your fucking finger at me.
I thought it was just a little funny reply, just for a dunk sesh. But nobody gives a fucking shit.
He's like the most cowardly.
They just care about a little Twitter, like little impression.
Spineless fuck.
And Ludwig's do like this.
Yeah, Finkelstein said the Wikipedia comment too. Joe Rogan said the Wikipedia comment. Like, to think that like it's coming from me only is so funny when like it's now a perma meme. Cool, now make one of Destiny talking about Hassan. I'm pretty sure Twitter allows you to upload videos over 2 hours, so you should be good at least for part 1. Since Hassan is trending yet again, Destiny's community cannot stop obsessing over Hassan, and they act flabbergasted when they're accused of brigading and harassment. This is only 30 days worth of mentions of him. Yeah, remember this, guys? This is always funny when his community tries to say, oh, Hassan, you're projecting rent-free. Today I learned Jon Stewart is a Hassan fan. To be fair to Hassan, if we take into account all the needs in Hamasabi's audience, the irony is his subreddit talks more about me than my own subreddit does. My own subreddit is not very active, Hassan_Piker. And when they are active, they're mostly like talking about Palestine, things of that nature. His subreddit literally only talks about me for the most part. I mean, I'm sure they go after whoever the Destiny hates on any given moment. There's currently a target-rich environment, but that's fun, man. This is good stuff. Cheeseball Gate apparently happened. Willing to talk to isn't the same as bridge building. He said multiple times before people who are essentially his enemies at the moment that while those relationships are fixable, he would require the first action to be something significant from the other party. Wait, you don't even know his biggest criticism of his enemies? He has. It's that they never show the full thing he says. That thing you're talking about is totally different. I do know he has criticisms of some people, Vosh, Hassan, Mike, etc., but he seems to have generally shifted his stance to people who have hurt me have to make a significant repair first. These are like, DG is literally making fun of Ludwig because he lied. What's your point? DG collectively don't always have the correct opinion. I'm not willing to assign lying to what could be misremembering, and DG's stance on a thing isn't an argument against anything I said. Or are you saying the situation where Ludwig should have shown evidence of the cheeseball thing? Because I think it's unreasonable to expect him to remember that Destiny was in 8 seconds of the second ever video on Cutie's channel. This isn't the same category of thing. You think it's reasonable to remember something like Destiny gave off super weird and antisocial personality vibes when the video couldn't be farther from the truth? How do you mess up something that bad? Again, 8 seconds of a VOD from like 6 years ago. Wait, I stand by what I said. He came into the room mid-game. I tried inviting him to join in. He didn't want to. I then offered $100. He missed. Then he sat on the couch and left after the stream ended. How the f*** are you going to tell me how the first impression went from 8 seconds, Lamau? So you stand by what you said? By now repeating a completely different story? That's not what you said, idiot. He still took the cheese ball even after the $100 offer when you made it seem like, bro. You still got time to delete this, bro. Oh my God, these people are so unhinged. Bro, the cheese ball doesn't even matter. You yourself are only further reaffirming the position that many people have that Destiny's community are like mentally unwell. They legitimately think that like this cheese ball saga is like actually valid. Like who the fuck? This is permanent debate brain. You're watching permanent debate brain. This is what I try to tell people not to do. This is what I try to explain to you about the toxicity of debate lord communities. They try to debate anything and everything. It's like debating your parents on who passes you the salt. Well, technically, the proximity that I had to the salt shaker was actually much further away from my brother, who should have passed the salt himself. In this dissertation, I will describe to you why my brother should have been the one who passed the salt, and therefore, I am not going to pass you the salt. Slime nailed it by saying they can't view life through anything but debate mechanics. Bro, is this like an entire generation of people that were just like destroyed by COVID? Is that what's going on? Yeah, I'm a DGGer, and it's so obvious your bad faith right now. Just apologies to him. For what? No, they were like this before COVID. True, they were like this before COVID. They literally are trying to debate Ludwig into submission so that he will be friends with their favorite content creator. That's insane. And there is a not like, if this was like 3 or 4 people, that's one thing. This is literally like hundreds of people, and they're like upduting it like it's Reddit. I thought he came into the room and looked around and left. What the I mean, that's literally just a completely different story. It's not a big deal, actually. Why the am I commenting here? Holy shit. But it does come off as kind of weird. But the vibes weren't off. He was clearly looking for someone else. Like, this guy made a fake account, okay? I don't know when, and I don't know for what purpose, but he's using that fake account right now specifically to reply to only Destiny-related otherwise he's posting about, like, Sukuna, Gojo, shit like that. Dude's got one follower, and he's in the goddamn trenches. Like May 11th. Look, people be as feminist as possible until the moment they see a person they dislikes wife dancing with the least sexual way possible with another man, Lamau. Bro, are you okay? And then he also is acting like he's new to this conversation, maybe even a Ludwig fan, as a matter of fact. I mean, that's literally just a completely different story. It's not that big. Actually, why the fuck am I commenting on here? Holy shit. But it does come across as kind of weird. Like, the extent of which you have to go to, the lengths that you have to go to make like a sock account, or basically use your throwaway account in the trenches to make it sound like you're not like a longtime Destiny fan. Like, there he is, like talking about other shit related to Destiny. I stand by what I said. Proceeds to tell a completely different story. Okay, dude. Based on your slightly shifted retelling, maybe, just maybe, taking no as an answer from the start would have been better vibes. By the way, they're punishing him and yelling at him right now because Slime said an offhanded remark to which Ludwig tried to deflect away from and basically like neutralize, and got a ton of hatred from his community over and over again for the past couple of days. But I stand by what I said. Vibes were fine. So good that Cutie uploaded them. Try to thread the needle and make caveats. Or you could just say you misremembered. Dude, they're literally saying like, no, you don't understand. The vibes were actually fine. I wasn't in the room, but the vibes were fine. Shut the fuck up. You are wrong about your recollection of not only the events, but also the feelings that you've had. Dude, the video is clearly edited, lol. Like, everything Ludwig just said could be true, but we don't have the video. But we have a strong track record of people lying about Destiny, like the guy that was supposedly sent those death threats out, which I corrected when I found out and removed. Which should be a good thing, but it's constant. It's always some weird Destiny fan when it almost never is. Bro, you are the weird Destiny fan. You're behaving as the weird Destiny fan right now while talking about weird Destiny fans. The biggest issue that the community has is that there's almost always accusations first and then apologies later. There's a good reason so few know about your mini walk back after. I'm assuming you're not lying about it. It's because it got time to hop on the fuck Destiny train, and rather than critically think about whether it's our community or not, the accusations always come first and control the narrative. I don't know what any of that is, man. I watched playoff basketball today. I'll assume you're not as involved. The big issue DGG has is the constant misinterpretation, flat out lies, and baseless accusation. Hold on, he said he wanted Israel, and they're doing it. You know what I mean? He said he wanted the IDF, and these guys are doing it. They're doing Hasbara for Destiny. 1 second. I gotta put like a good. The big issue DG has is the constant misinterpretation, flat out lies, and baseless accusations. Again, when people accuse DG of the narrative of that we send massive death threats to people, it's because of the initial blow up from content people like you make. Nobody remembers the apology, if it's true. I still don't believe that you even made an apology. but I'll say that you might have. I think, Ludwig responds, I think they think he's weird because this, not because of a story about cheese puffs. Oh, wait, hold on. There's more. I missed another part. And now people will go off of your telling of Destiny's a weird antisocial guy with bad vibes because of the initial push. Let's say we get the VOD and find out you were wrong about the whole image you have that of that day. Even if you were to apologize, nobody would dispute the Destiny bad vibes take. I think they think he's weird because of this. Not because of a story about cheese puffs, he says, and then posts the Destiny logs where he's saying, I just had a epiphany, I'm Israel, and then my own fan base, Israeli citizens, blah, 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 they criticize me. Perma-banning every single random who criticized my takes on Ludwig Cutie, whoever the I think the best thing that could happen is that they all grab a bag of fent-loaded coke so they can join Slime's OD'd dead dad 6 feet under. Make the world a better place and seriously kill yourself in a group. I'm thinking Jonestown, but not tragic. I need an idea of who's my strongest soldier, which I think is, you know, probably part of the reason why a lot of people think that that's sick. No, the vibes were really good when he said those things. Why are you such a coward, Lamau? Stick to one story. All the orbiters coming in. Okay, where is the rest of this guy's responses? Like, I blocked him a long time ago, so I can't see his responses. There's more, I suspect. Oh, here. You have no idea how much I think that stuff is crazy. The analysis isn't far off, though. Keffels gains traction by accusing Destiny of shady Twitch community rides the wagon. Destiny gets banned. Keffel gets caught lying. Haha, whoopsie, and no major condemnation. Like, will there be pushback from Frogan for being racist towards you while you try to help feed kids in a war zone? What do you mean pushback? Who cares? I think people who fight for me on my behalf are too lost in the sauce. I hope she gets none. And I'll get my revenge by leading the best life possible I can. I hope she does the same. No pushback for being racist, for on a person who's donating to a charity. You should care because you shouldn't want that type of behavior to become normalized. You're not a parent, sure, but you have those who will go by your value system. And if being racist towards whites is okay, that behavior will become more normal in your community. I also want to know what this guy's opinion is. If he's such a diehard Destiny fan, I suspect that he doesn't quite give a shit about Palestinians at all. Oh my God, this guy's been posting non-stop. He hasn't stopped posting. No wonder I blocked this fucking dude. It only becomes a complex issue because people like you will never truthfully engage with the facts of history. You will never engage with any numbers disproving genocide. You have your talking points already and want to pretend you run a moral high ground, while all you are doing is furthering the divide and never allowing a true conversation to exist for this conflict. Yeah, I don't know if he gives a shit about the Palestinians, but I don't know. I promise you, my time's better spent focusing on what I want to do than pushback against her. And I think pushback will happen naturally from people seeing clips of her and deciding to watch or not watch her. I don't gotta lead a campaign for that to happen. I don't think a single person who's not insane is wanting a campaign. It's just a direct statement of condemnation that would probably suffice. The Twitch space seems to have an overall idea that you can't be racist towards white people. And this passive "I'ma do my own thing" will imply that you're okay with it. I'm not even saying that what she said was as serious as other things said before, because this deep in a thread, I clearly don't understand how clout works. I don't think many people will see the statements you've made about her. And time spent better? Sure, I guess. Was it worth it then to change one of your videos that had a joke about Hassan and the streamer privilege thing? Because he's also a strong force in the no way to be racist towards white people since they hold social power camp. Wow, it's almost like these cultivated fan base, they can't handle any criticism. Anytime their community or their daddy faces pushback, they completely lose it and attempt to endlessly attack. Well, that's all they've learned. To this guy said, bro, this whole thing is extremely manic and unhealthy. Destiny's a stranger. Ludwig is a stranger. Go spend your time with your kids. Destiny's not only a stranger but a fascist. You see a cop slaughter a black guy and you see the cop isn't racist, but cracker you jump at? I was taking a shit when I was responding to this. It was a little early to spend time with the family too. Also, Destiny being a fascist, that is so insanely far from the truth. How is a liberal who wants people to do whatever they want as long as it is with the parties consenting a fascist? My man took the longest shit of his goddamn life, dude. I hope he pushed it all out. These logs are literally in response to people like you creating weird and untrue stories where you got caught doing a 4K 120 FPS about me. Holy shit. Get your head out of Hassan's for like 15 seconds and breathe some fresh oxygen. What am I doing? I'm done. I don't want to read any of this, the rest of this. This is like so insane and so unhinged. It basically personally shows exactly why his fan base operates this way, like in the incredibly unhinged ways that they operate on, where they're like debating the accuracy of the vibes from a 6-year-old moment, debating the accuracy of the vibes off of a 6-year-old video saying like you're actually lying, like you didn't do an accurate vibe check. I know better. I wasn't there. Maybe I wasn't even a fan of either of you back then, but I know better than you, the person who's doing the vibe check. Hassan, you've been puppet master for hours now. They've made you lose hair. I'm not mad. This is objectively this was maybe not for you guys, but for me it was fun to watch. Oh, you're being sarcastic. This was funny for me to watch, to see how like insane and unhinged his fan base has gotten. I mean, I hate that they're doing this to another person.
New report today, 2023 was the hottest in 2,000 years. There is story after story that a big poll of scientists, hundreds, I think, recently said, like, it does not appear that we're going to hit our climate goals that will keep the average temperature of the world from rising 2.5 Celsius. I think it's going to be, they're anticipating maybe 3. And it's going to mean millions of people starving. It's going to mean almost an incalculable amount of money spent on trying to protect cities, coastal cities, taxing like our electrical grids, deaths in terms of like heat spikes. It's going to completely create havoc in food supplies and migration and just preparedness. Places that haven't had tornadoes or hurricanes are going to be dealing with tornadoes and hurricanes. Places that extreme weather. I mean, on and on. Hundreds of scientists. But this guy in this coat, talking this jibber jabber, knows the real truth about climate change.
Well, then it also, those of us who are open to questioning the narrative are unwilling to, because we feel like it's the equivalent of denying the Earth is spherical. Yeah, because it's been pushed on us for so long that you just don't want to be an idiot. And also, people don't have time to look into the things that you've looked into. They're just going about their lives, and so they just.
I haven't found
a serious scientist, and I can tell the difference between a serious scientist and one who isn't serious. But 1% of scientists are serious. Well, because it's like everything else. It's like most scientists, university researchers, are careerists, and most of what they produce is nonsense. It's not replicable. But there are people who are devoted, just like there is in every enterprise. And what is it? If you have 10,000 neuroscientists, 100 of them publish half the papers. Right, that's the Pareto distribution, the square root of the number of people in an endeavor do half the work. Right, iron law. The square root of the number of people in an economic domain have half the money.
Pause it for 1 second.
Right. So,
I mean, whether that is true or not, if I grant him that it's true, I can assure you that in terms of whatever it is he claims he does now, he is part of that cohort that doesn't do the work.
I'll try to find the debunking.
I'm a serious scientist, you can tell, because I spend my time on podcasts debating YouTube.
Jordan Peterson might have this difficulty with credentialed sort of experts in that 3 months ago he lost his license to practice.
Well, that is because they're bigots and closed-minded.
Yeah, actually only 1% of them were good too, and they kicked him out for having too cool a jacket.
Of the number of people who sat on that board, virtually none of them did any of the work whatsoever. Go ahead.
Square root of the number of people in an economic domain have half the money. Okay. Right. So it's a very strange law. So the scientists, the real scientists, are the ones who are hyper-productive like that. And they usually have major league positions in high-end universities, right? Now, there's some other people that are, doing reasonable work, but and then they're in their 40s or 50s. They have like 200 publications or 100 publications. They're highly cited. They have a lot of graduate students. They've produced students. And they're skeptical as hell. And they know how to run an experiment. They know how to evaluate data. And I haven't found anyone like that who believes there's a climate crisis, that's for sure. There might be people who are somewhat concerned about carbon dioxide, although that's becoming increasingly rare, especially given the evidence of the greening. It's a complete bloody lie. The idea that 99% of scientists agreed, that was an absolute fabrication. What was it?
Pause it. He's citing the UN Climate Commission. He's citing all the reports. Those are all the fake scientists, according to him. The idea that real scientists who are not in any way motivated by some type of ideology will even entertain the notion of talking to a Jordan Peterson. This is the reality of this space. I know, a lot of people get their news from YouTube and from social media and whatnot, and I think if you're in a position where you can verify or over time assess, but Jordan Peterson would not be able to keep his head above water if he had to deal with credentialed people on a regular basis. That's just simply the fact. He knows it. He's just a YouTuber, essentially. And I say that as a YouTuber. He just comes across as having some type of, he doesn't have credentials now, but as having some type of cachet.
He was a professor with lectures you could watch. Yes.
But he's not. And frankly, were he an American professor, you'd probably never even heard of him. Smaller pool in Canada. Made a bigger stink because, I think, of the nature of Canada, frankly. And no intellectual is taking Jordan Peterson seriously. He doesn't have the opportunity to call up an actual researcher, a climate researcher, and say, it's Jordan Peterson. Dude, let's chat a little bit. I'll pass. I've got actual important things to do. Look, I've got a podcast. Let's go have a cheeseburger on a plate. No bread. Does it work? Go ahead.
Absolute fabrication. What was it? There was probably a consensus, for whatever the hell that's worth, because not much in the scientific realm, that human activity was producing some effect on the climate. But that was as far as it went. Even the IPCC doesn't think that there's an emergency. So why are we running around like chickens with their heads cut off, sacrificing the poor? It's like Al Gore. That's his.
Pause it for 1 second. Let's just first off, the IPCC, that is a complete misinterpretation or false presentation of what they have been doing. They are literally running around with their pants on fire. They're the only ones. From a societal perspective, to the extent that we've done any major addressing of climate change, it has all been in basically pouring in manufacturing money into nascent industries. Right now, because of the Inflation Reduction Act and the money that was really sort of addressing climate, we have the highest number of factory starts in decades. Wages for low-income people have gone up more than at any time in the past several decades. The implications of what he's saying, even if society was doing what he says it is, which it really isn't.
I like the idea that we're fighting I'm just concerned that poor people are going to be hurt by it.
Right, yeah. There's absolutely zero evidence from this real scientist who's not just, I don't just wear a fancy coat. I also, I dig deep into things.
Yeah, I mean, we should just, I do want to play this little clip because you mentioned that Pareto principle, and that comes up an awful lot with libertarians and also Jordan Peterson here. There's this brief look at Jordan Peterson from Some More News YouTube channel a year ago, and they get into this a little bit. Go ahead, Bradley.
Have the overwhelming amount of money, and 1/10 of that 1% has almost all of that. And you think, well, that's a terrible thing, and perhaps it is, but what you have to understand is that that law governs the distribution of creative production across all creative domains, right? It's something like a natural law.
Jordan loves talking about the Pareto principle as it relates to income inequality, concluding it to be a natural law because it's, according to him, something that occurs in everything from novels to food production. Except, bit of a snag. It doesn't? Well, it does sometimes, and it doesn't many other times. For example, in food production, the USDA found that family farms, aka 98% of all farms, provide 88% of all production. That doesn't really follow this distribution. Though to be fair, it is from the cultural Marxists at the USDA. On the flip side, only 1.3% of traditionally published authors make over $100,000 on their books, while 53% make under $1,000. That doesn't follow the rule either. You know what else also doesn't follow the rule is wealth inequality. Currently in the USA, the top 20% owns 90% of the wealth. Shouldn't Dr. Peterson be screaming about how we need to get it down to 80%? If you Google it, you'll find tons of lists of things that supposedly follow this 20-80 rule. Everything from social media to city traffic to how disease spreads. The problem is that almost all of these lists are impossible to actually find data to back them up, because generally speaking, this 20-80 ratio is just a rule of thumb people apply to things like marketing and management. In a lot of
Now, wait a second. Hold on.
But Sam,
I have been listening to Tim Ferriss. And that's where I know the 80-20 rule.
This is like...
So that guy on Some More News can go F himself.
The Pareto principle is a great red flag for you're talking to a libertarian full of complete garbage. Remember that libertarian we had call in about Ayn Rand the other day?
Yes.
Didn't want to talk about anything historical, but wanted to go back to these concepts that can maybe explain
theory that plays out.
Matt. Explains everything. It's 20-80 everywhere. My suit, 20% looks good, 80% sucks.
It's 20% cotton, 80% rayon.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, let's do a little more of this. Okay.
That there's an emergency. And so why are we running around?
Why are we running around? We should be walking.
Sacrificing the poor. It's like Al Gore.
Sacrificing the poor.
That's his game, or what's his name?
Al Gore.
The climate envoy. Kerry, John Kerry, Skeletor himself.